Welcome to vlog number 52. This is entitled Home of the Most Beautiful Women in the World. My name is Dr. Zero Mella and I'm from Olongapo City. And today, I'm honestly having a hard time with this previous vlog that I'm forced to remake because it's 25 minutes long. It was branded as reused content and lazy. It was recorded back in summer of 2019. This was when I attended a fashion event called Miss Olongapo Summer Gala. It was the first time that such an event ever happened because it featured at the start of the show the previous Olongapo Queens. Here they are dressed in designer nightgowns. These are the previous winners of the Miss Olongapo contests that were held annually up to this day. In the height of the COVID pandemic, the Olongapo Tourism still held the contest, but it was mostly an online event. You can just watch in awe as these previous winners, having competed and represented Olongapo in national and international events, managed to keep their figures despite some of them being married already and most of them returning to their day-to-day jobs. I was told that some of them are still competing in beauty contests. I honestly don't know which one because this video was only a lucky opportunity given to me by chance. I was not invited to this event, but I attended nonetheless because my niece was in it. I didn't plan to shoot any video, but the tourism head recognized me. She was Ma'am Fifi Legaspi and she beckoned at me to sit on the front row. I was reluctant until she told me that I could be my boss's replacement. Apparently, every department head in the city was invited and all had reserved seats in the front row. And only a few came because summer is like the busiest time in Olongapo. This is the only time in the pre-COVID era that the population of our small city almost double in number because of the influx of incoming tourists. At that time, the largest inflatable island in all of Asia was still causing a sensation because it was just a few years old. This event was going to be another crowd draw and there were empty seats in front and me and my wife just took it. Afterwards, I had a tripod set up with my GoPro Hero session and my Samsung J7 Prime took all of the high resolution pictures. Talk about not being prepared, right? GoPros back then do not operate well on low light, so I had to position mine in the center of the stage where it could receive the best light possible. I'm aware of YouTube's copyright policies and when I heard that the DJ was playing all the best copyrighted songs of 2019, it was previously editing hell for me. Even though this video is 100% mine, the use of non-copyrighted songs and lack of narration made this and other videos in my channel a target of the YouTube AI. I had the reuse content violation slapped at me because apparently it was a lazy way to go about doing a YouTube video nowadays. In order to save my channel, I have to painstakingly narrate all of my uploaded 400 videos including this one. And I hope you like this one too. Give me a thumbs up and if you like beautiful women in this video. And hit that subscribe button if you want to watch more videos like this and make sure to hit the bell icon and choose all to get notified when the next video will come up. Fortunately for me, I have been asking the tourism department to get me front and center on the 2021 Miss Olongapo Pageant. I do hope for all our sakes that I get that invitation. In this part of the video, each of the Olongapo Queens were introduced individually as well as the name of the designer and his gown. By this time, a huge crowd was already pouring in by droves. I had to delete the original audio because of all the noise. It didn't help me that I was only a few feet away from the large speakers. This was actually an outdoor event. This place was called the Rizal Triangle and it was situated in the center of our city. It was a nice stage, but it had the worst acoustics for such an event. The SMX Olongapo City Convention Center was still under construction at this time. The 2020 Miss Olongapo was the first event to be held there. But since my department imposed stringent measures for social distancing, no one but the technical crew and a few of the contestants' entourage were able to partake. Using the recorded video in my vlogs will be a violation of the YouTube guidelines, so I never uploaded them. This is the only surviving copy of this event, which was on 2019 on YouTube. That's why I chose not to delete this one. I chose to remake it. It is deserving for the world to know that these are the beautiful women that inhabit our city. Although I really have no knowledge of women's fashion, but these women and these gowns are a sight to behold. I have my wife right next to me and this show. And if you were to listen to the original recordings, she will be gasping "ang ganda," which is Tagalog for "that's beautiful." Those were unsolicited comments that I couldn't add because of the noise and the copyrighted music. People around me at this time were saying, "Didn't she compete in Miss Philippines Earth? And wasn't she in this so-called pageant?" I was rooting for her. And I had no idea who they were because I was busy in my job as a community doctor to care for much of this stuff. The interesting thing is that most of the beautiful girls you see here look like the average female patients I receive every day in my rural health clinic. The only reason the others couldn't compete in competitions like this is because of the height requirement. So when the mayor of my city decided to keep the tagline "home of the most beautiful women in the world" to describe Olongapo, he wasn't kidding. In fact, I married the most beautiful woman in the world, and she is now the mother of my 2 kids. And we met here in Olongapo despite both of us not being a native of Olongapo or Zambales. Both of us were drawn here in the beautiful paradise called Olongapo because this place truly is the best place to live in the Philippines. And that was the end part of the Olongapo Queens portion of this video. They were invited to participate in this event as a reminder to all of Olongapo that our beauty does not fade with time. Even if they are now busy with other stuffs occupying their time after they have retired their crown, they made it a point to come back to the Olongapo runway to serve as the inspiration for the new generations of would-be Olongapo beauty queens. In the effort for me not to drag my narration throughout the video, I invited one of the 2019 Miss Olongapo winners to help me with my vlog. I introduce to you 2019's Miss Olongapo Tourism, Clarisse Cunada. Hello, Clarisse.
Hi everyone, and to those who are watching this vlog, I hope that you enjoyed this and that you are all safe.
In case you were paying attention, she was my niece that I was rooting for at the start of this vlog. At this part of the video behind us, I'm featuring the 2019 contestants in their swimsuit. So, Clarisse, tell everybody a little about yourself.
I am 20 years old and I'm an incoming third-year nursing student at Central Escolar University in Manila. But right now, I am still here in Subic, Zambales since there is no confirmation yet if we are part of the face-to-face that I think will take place on August.
So, Clarisse, how old were you when you entered this contest and how did you get into this contest?
Back when I joined the Miss Olongapo pageant, I was only 18 years old since it happened in the month of May, if I remember correctly. So before I joined, I was crowned Binibining Subic in the year 2018, and months after that pageant, I enjoyed the feeling of not having a diet. So I ate a lot and gained so much weight. Then January 2019, I saw the post of the Miss Olongapo page. Then I started to ponder about it. My management has other models in mind to join, but if I'm not chosen, I will just support them. But at the back of my mind, I'm thinking that I can do this, that I can win this. But yeah, there's still no confirmation yet. And then weeks after, the page posted that it is the last screening for the Miss Olongapo. And then my handler messaged me that I can join the pageant. That's when I was really motivated that, yes, through my journey, especially in achieving my desired weight and my desired, my desired activity or my purpose in joining that pageant and achieving that, I think that I can inspire more people.
Do you love living in Olongapo?
For my 2 years of senior high school at Gordon College, I lived in Olongapo City in my lola's house. And I can say that I loved and I missed living there, even though it's very busy and a crowded place, even though it's hard to look for a jeepney to wait to come because of the moments and the bondings my friends and I made. I can say that living in Olongapo is worth the memories. Living in Olongapo City made me feel like I am growing, that I am getting more mature. There are lots of opportunities out there, and I experienced easier access to my needs since establishments like malls are very near, and studying there made me gain a lot of friends from my co-models as well as my classmates.
Who was your inspiration for joining the Miss Olongapo pageant?
I think that my inspiration that time was my family, and of course Pia Wurtzbach, who won Miss Universe 2015. I really admire how she spoke up for different causes, and I want to be someone like that can inspire and can fight for a cause at the same time. And Miss Olongapo aims to fight for drug abuse, as I've read their description. And at the time, I'm so happy that when I was asked in the question and answer portion during the pageant about my purpose in this world, I inserted my message to that.
Even though I know how hard you work for this pageant, I'd like my viewers to know what kind of preparations you had to go over to be able to compete in a pageant like Miss Olongapo.
Back then, I think I mostly focused on losing weight. I worked out a lot in the morning, and even in the evening. I also prepared for my pasarela walk. And if you don't know about it, Tito, it is the term that we use for the ramp walks in pageant. So I trained at home and spent time with my mentors and created different routine in my pasarela walk for the swimsuit, for the nightgown. So yeah, and also every night I am thinking of the possible questions, I'm writing it, and how should I construct my answers for that. So in my question and answer training, even if I'm alone, I am thinking of some taglines that I can insert in my answer so that it will leave an impact to people.
Since I am a doctor and you did have to ask me multiple times about your diet prepping up for this pageant, I still have to ask, what changes did you make in your diet that helped you win a title?
Actually, I do not want to repeat my diet that time. I am not eating rice, fast foods, fried foods, pasta, chocolates, junk foods, even soy sauce and soup in tinola. I focused on eating fruits and vegetables, chicken breast, steamed fish, something like that. And there was a time that I only ate one apple for the whole day. But at that time, I'm not feeling like I'm starving. But remembering that I did that, I think that I'm really starving and craving pizza that time. But now I'm enjoying a variety of food again. So I'm really grateful that there's still no pageants. But if given an opportunity, I will grab it.
You killed that stage with that beautiful but huge headrest with a swimsuit. Have you done something like that before?
Actually, in my Binibining Subic pageant, I wore a huge costume. If you remember, actually it's in my YouTube channel, my performance there. Just search Gem Cunada. So back then, I wore a huge costume and I cannot walk properly, and I just used my smile to captivate the judges and the audience for them to see that I'm not struggling that time. So the huge headdress that I wore during the fashion gala it was already easy for me, and I just enjoy wearing it. It's like I'm a Victoria's Secret model.
When you were doing the summer outfit section, of course, the design was by Olongapo designer James O'Brien. You did a tandem walk with other contestants. This was something I do think is unusual in fashion shows, and some of the contestants were not obviously comfortable with it. How is it like for you?
I think that time I am just feeling like a real ramp model, and I think my fellow candidates felt the same way. It was still like a competition, and I thought I need to stand out, but still I am just enjoying everything.
You do know that this event does not have any bearing on the contest of Miss Olongapo itself, but you were all smiles, and the way you look at people was so competitive that you would have easily won this if this was the pageant. What drove you to do it, and even if this event was just for charity?
As for me, I believe that pageants are supposed to be filled with smiles. Even in fashion shows that are conducted by pageants, and the theme is a summer fashion gala, the term summer itself, we should let the people feel that we enjoy and that we are comfortable wearing those kinds of clothes during summer. I think that I was all smiles the time because I want the audience who were watching me to also put smiles on their faces. Even though not counted in scores, I want to leave impact on them so that they will not forget my smile even if they went home and remember that they also smiled that night. And I think that it is one of the essence of that charity.
In the nightgown portion of the show came, you were serious. The other contestants were also in the same mood. Did you ever felt insecure knowing that everybody was rocking their nightgowns like they owned the stage?
I did not feel insecure, but being in pageant industry, it is common that in the nightgown, models usually put their fierce faces on. That is why I am also not smiling often when I'm wearing my nightgown. I don't know about the others, but as for me, I felt like I am enjoying putting a fierce face on because I feel beautiful and classy when I'm wearing a nightgown. I also noticed in my previous videos wearing my nightgowns, I am more fierce than before. So yeah, I really enjoy putting a fierce face on when wearing nightgowns.
Those nightgowns look so complicated, like it needs an instruction manual just to wear them. Were there any complications that you or other contestants encountered?
For the nightgowns, I think there were some problems that they encountered and some needed to sew it right before the fashion gala because it just came in the afternoon on that day. But if there are some that happened during the fashion show, I think that they handled it very well. So I'm very proud of all the girls during that time.
If you were to say any words to our viewers who want to join beauty pageants like Miss Olongapo, what would you say to them?
Who are watching there, I hope that through this video, you may feel that pageants are for everyone. I just want to say that even if you are not tall enough, skinny and has fair skins like the other girls that usually join pageants, do not ever lose hope because just like me, you can achieve something and you can also become someone who can inspire others as long as you continue to be yourself and always be kind.
In the last part of this show, you were toe-to-toe with the past beauty queens. If you were given a chance to describe that part, what would you say to them?
Being with the past winners, it is an honor to be on the same stage with them because I know almost all of them. And I would just like to say thank you for also being an inspiration, and to those who have national pageant competitions this year like Miss Mavi Cabling, Ate Mavi, and for Miss Philippines Earth and Ate Faith Garcia for Binibining Pilipinas. I hope the best of luck to you girls.
Now, you did win as the Miss Olongapo Tourism. How was it?
Right now, I think that this has given me the opportunity to be a promoter of Olongapo. And even if I already passed my crown, I am still having the chance to promote it, to share the beauty of it to other people, especially to my classmates from Manila. I am really glad that they know about the beauty of Olongapo, the different attractions there, and also the sambales. I want to promote it. I also experienced meeting other people, and even if I did not have the chance to go to other events because I went to Manila to study, I still enjoyed, and I will forever cherish and be grateful for this opportunity.
Thank you for being my guest vlogger for today. Is there anything you would like to promote?
Yes, thank you also for having me here, Tito. I would like to promote my newly launched cosmetic products by the Gem Cosmetics. You can search us on Facebook, on Instagram, and on TikTok, and also on Shopee. I also hope you visit the Green Rose Spa and Aesthetic Center just in front of the Dream Plaza in Mataan Civic Zambales. Hi, Ma'am Rose! I miss you.
Thank you, Clarisse. How about you do the honors of reminding our viewers to subscribe to this channel?
Okay. If you like this video, click the thumbs up sign and don't forget to subscribe. Be sure to click that bell and choose all to get notified when the next video will come up. Thanks guys for supporting this channel, and thank you for this opportunity. Bye!
Thank you, Clarisse, again for being my guest. This vlog is brought to you by Cyberlink Power Director. It is my video editor of choice for all of my vlogs. It's easy to use and very powerful. Just check out bit.ly 0MD Power Director for more. Thank you guys for watching. This is Zero Mella MD, firefighter, physician, and EMTB. Goodbye and peace out.